Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you are. Bye, Black for Life. Good morning, one and all. Welcome to another of our Education Saturday conversations. And do I have a great one here for you? So, Bye, Black for Life. Come on in. If you are watching, please let us know where you are watching from. Welcome. We have an amazing panel. Happy Saturday to all. I don't know where you are. I'm in New York. It has been absolutely beautiful the past 4 or 5 days. My son actually came up from New York. I hadn't seen him since the pandemic, so he came from Charlotte. I got to see him, put my arms on him, and give him a big hug. How much I missed him. He's bigger than me, so wrapping my arms around him is tough. But it was so wonderful to be able to see him, and I give honor and praise to God for healing of our communities as we hopefully come out of this pandemic. But come on in. Let us know where you are from. If you're watching it on replay, do hashtag replay and tell us where you are watching from. But welcome to Education Saturday. And I'm just going to jump right in and introduce my amazing panelists. And I will start with Gina Diggs. Gina is an active member in her community and has a track record of passionately serving the underrepresented. She has played an integral part in pro bono work that revitalized 2 domestic violence and homeless shelters in Virginia. She led efforts transforming these nonprofit organizations from the brink of closure to increasing utilization by 79% that same year and receiving state-level recognition the following year. Praise God for that. Her award-winning leadership was noted, and the Help and Emergency Response Shelter, HER, has continued to have a phenomenal impact in terms of growth and sustainability as a vital community resource. Now, recognizing the systemic issues in our society, Gina chooses to get involved in a meaningful way through BLACKBiz digital platform. Gina gives all credit and glory to her creator who gave her this transformational idea. She was just crazy enough to walk in faith and invited close friends and thought leaders into her circle to join her on this mission. By Black for Life, I introduce the president and co-founder of BLACKBiz, Gina Diggs. Welcome, Gina.
Thank you, Jerome. It's such a pleasure to be sharing the stage with you. Looking forward to the conversation. Absolutely.
Thank you for being with us. And we also have Miss Sandra Daly. Miss Daly was born and raised in Antigua, the Caribbean. And you notice I did a little, Caribbean thing.
I see.
Her family migrated to the United States in her teenage years, where she ultimately was educated and raised her own family. Sandra is married with two children, 6 grandchildren, and is an American author, entrepreneur, public speaker, and philanthropist. Sandra holds a Bachelor of Science in Computer Science from the University of California, Irvine, a Master of Science in Project Management from St. Edward's University. In addition, Sandra lends her professional software development expertise to develop her business mobile applications, leveraging her educational background and solution-oriented leadership experience as a technical consultant to run her IT business, delineated via Sandra's peers, employees, customers, and competitors have come to know her as a relentless, intentional overachiever. I love that. Mm-hmm. Sandra's professional experience includes software and systems engineering, quality assurance, and program management. Currently, Sandra resides in Florida as she and her husband pastor Destiny House of Prayer for everyone, postured to render the rest of their lives serving the community and preparing individuals for the second coming of Jesus Christ. Oh, I love that. By Black Life, welcome BLACKBiz VP of IT, Sandra Daly. Welcome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having us, Gina and I. Thanks for being here, Jerome. Every time we get an opportunity to speak to the world about what BLACKBiz is about, we jump on it. We're
Yes.
so glad to be being here, and we cannot wait to share with everyone that's watching what BLACKBiz is all about, how they can become a part of BLACKBiz, and how they too can promote BLACKBiz wherever they are.
I love this. So I'm going to start with my icebreaker, right? Because all of us are serving the community in some way, shape, or form. So my question to each of you, and I'll start with you, Gina, is what is your why? Why are you doing what it is that you're doing? And it's clear you walked away from corporate America. What's your why for serving the community?
Thanks, Jerome. And I muted my mic because I think it helped when you were talking. So, Sandra, if you can mute as well, then I think it might help with any backlash there. But yeah, so my why. Well, I'm a mother of 5. I have 2 bonus babies, 3 biological, and in that mixture of fun, we have 3 young Black boys, young men. And there's been so much emotions. For me, the tipping point during COVID for me was the George Floyd, his final breaths going viral, him calling out for his mother, and I think the whole world watched and reacted in different ways. There was protest, there was ideas, there was so much going on. But my background is prior to leaving corporate America, I was in the aerospace industry for over 20 years. My last role was as a program manager at NASA in Langley, Virginia. And my role was as a strategic consultant. So I used that expertise, if you will, and brought it into the space that we were in now. And they say that the best antidote for fear is contribution. And that's where my mind was. I was anxious and concerned and angry and frustrated and so many emotions. And I pivoted from that into a place of figuring out what could we do. And so it was really for me about unpacking tactical solutions and doing all that's being done is great. But how do we strategically bring that together in a powerful way, the power of the collective? And so that's where BLACKBiz was founded in the spirit of cooperation and bringing strategic partnerships with the same mission and passion together to make a difference.
Love it. I really do. And I know that we are definitely seeing a lot of synergy around what it is that we do and what it is that BLACKBiz does. So I look forward to us talking more about that. Sandra, if I may, what is your why?
Yes, born and raised in the Caribbean, it's really not a black and white. Before Tyler Perry put out his The Haves and the Haves Not, that's what I was living on, because everybody there was Black, probably more dramatic than what we see on the screen. And when I came to America, it was totally different. And then being a Christian, I try my very best to be led by the Holy Spirit. But even with that, you cannot deny there are definitely overt differences and preferences in the way we as people interact with each other. And so I still remember going to Saks Fifth Avenue on 34th Street in New York, because when we migrated to America, it was in New York that my mom landed and then brought her entire family. I remember going in with a bag, and I remember walking around, and this man, to me, he was a nice man, because everywhere I showed up at a rack, he was in front of me. And I kept saying, hi, how you doing? Being like this island gal, you say hi to everybody, especially white people. Because, in the Caribbean, they are bread and butter. We survive on tourism. So you were raised at a very young age to treat people who visit your country with the utmost, whether you're serving them directly or not, because the economy depended upon it. So it's imperative. I'm like, after about the 4th rack, I realized, weird. And I'm going to say it in my West Indian language. Weird. What this man do? This man follow me for true. This man think I thief. He think I thief.
I love it.
I started running from rack to rack. And I said to myself, this man watch me while other people are stealing. Oh, he ain't gonna catch the thief today. Then I realized, oh my gosh, it was the color of my skin. It was because I walked in with a big bag that they thought that, I was gonna stuff it. And I was so, first of all, embarrassed, and then immediately turned to like anger. And then I'm like, what can you do? I'm a West Indian, I'm a little girl. I mean, not so much because I came when I was 15, but all this. So when Gina called me, by the way, I have many more stories of being indoctrinated in the preferences of human beings in America.
Yes.
Based on the color of your skin.
Yes.
And then when I open my mouth and then there's an accent, I've even been told that I'm uneducated because of my accent. And, so when Gina called me, I heard the Holy Spirit say, whatever she said, say yes. And Gina and I go 20 years back, carpool back and forth, and we stayed in each other's lives, even when we were geographically distant or separated, because you know how things work with life. And I said yes, and here we are. And I'm so glad I said yes, because back in that day, Jerome, I did not know in 2021 that I would be on Buy Black for Life telling this story. I never unpacked it like it was a mental issue, it was trauma. But then once Gina started communicating and saying, this is the vision, this is the goal, I realized, hey, remember that man that followed you around that store? Right. So that's just part of my why, Jerome. Thanks for asking.
I love that story, let me tell you. Oh, wow. And, I'm going to share my why with you. And I have to say, Gina, I didn't know until I read your bio about the domestic violence piece, because that comes into play in my life. In that my mom was a domestic violence survivor. But me at age 11, my mother was working for Planned Parenthood in the Bronx. We were living in Staten Island. And my mother would wake me up on Saturday mornings and take me with her to work. Now, if you know New York, you know Staten Island is the furthest place away from Staten Island is the Bronx. So we're on the train headed to the Bronx on Saturday mornings. I'm 11 years old. I'm missing my cartoons. I'm missing playing with my friends. And my mother put me in a room with 13 and 14-year-olds. And I didn't know why she did it. And when I looked around, I realized no one was leading it. So I just started talking. And after the first time my mother did that, I was like, Mom, why did you do that? There was no adult there to lead it. She said, Jerome, you're there to lead it. You are there to get in that room and not only talk about your life, right? Because your life isn't pretty, but allow others to be able to talk about their lives. That first day I learned these 13 and 14-year-olds were expected fathers. Their girlfriends were about to have babies. It blew my mind. My mother, in her journey as a survivor of domestic violence, opened up domestic violence shelters throughout New York City. I always say that my mother could not put her name on those buildings for her safety. And growing up, we didn't realize why our number was unlisted, why we had to be mindful of, who answered the phone and what we said, because there were people that were looking for my mother because they were looking for the person they abused. So all from 11 years old, I've been serving young people. I've been serving the community. I'm a basketball coach as well. But a year ago, I'm also a 30-year financial professional. I've worked with wealthy clients. I've worked with the wealthiest of the wealthiest in academia. And I realized and recognized how they use their wealth to keep communities like ours oppressed by supporting politicians and policies. So I came up with, let me create something for our people to have a platform to sell within the BIPOC community. And Sandra, you asked me early, how did it grow the way that it did? I will just say by me being transparent with my people, being unapologetic about saying no, and also all of the things that people do with groups, I had solutions for it. So a lot of the people that would do the yeah buts to me about what I was creating, they didn't realize that I was taking data and how to build something that would go against them. For example, we can't do business with each other. Yes, we can. We can't collaborate with each other. Well, the three of us in this right now shows that that is a myth that we are debunking. So that's my why. So thank you.
Hey, Jerome, before you move on, we have a closer connection than you think. When my mom came to America, it was Staten Island. We migrated. I went to New Dorp High School.
I went to Port Richmond High School.
I know where Port Richmond is. All my friends was living in Port. So when I get off school, I used to run them. But anyway, that's a conversation.
Wow, what a connection.
I lived in Park Hill.
I lived in Park Hill as well. I lived on
what building?
I don't know. I don't remember, but I did live on 320 Vanderbilt Avenue. They called it Fox Hill.
Yes, dude.
Yes, we
got to talk later, man.
It's your fault, Gina. You started this. So I'm going to jump right in. I'm sorry we're taking so long, but listen, when the synergy is what it is, we let God do what God does. So I'm going to ask either one of you, tell us what BLACKBiz is. What does BLACKBiz do?
Sorry, I had to unmute myself. So BLACKBiz, actually, there's so much meaning behind the message, right? And purpose behind the passion. BLACKBiz is a nonprofit foundation. And we have strategic roadmaps across our foundational pillars, if you will. There's 6 of them. And it's actually where BLACKBiz comes from. It stands for Building, Legacy, Awareness, Community, Knowledge, and Business. Yes. So I can share what each of those tenets are if you'd like, and it'll expound upon really what we stand for. So when we say building, we're talking about community. There is so much right now amazing ingenuity happening, but it's being done in silos and in pockets. So our charter is to bring that together and really serve with the power of the collective, right? Legacy, that actually is really about changing the narrative.
Yes.
Because so long people have been writing our own narrative, right? And amplifying that excellence and ingenuity so that we can have a rewarding future of legacy leaders, right? So awareness is really about, in this month, Mental Health Month, mental awareness. Awareness is really around tapping into your mind, body, and soul. Because it's when you do that, you can look at the reflection of your reflection and see your greatness, right? Community, you think of your family as a community, your neighborhood as a community, but BLACKBiz is looking at the community on a global scale and looking across the African diaspora. And that's our goal, is to bring that together. Knowledge, we're not talking just about head smarts, we're talking about wealth building principles. I think, Jerome, you can really speak to, right? Because it doesn't matter where we start, but it's where we end, and we can end in a better place together. So really, BLACKBiz is about addressing economic empowerment. And we do that through our last tenet, which is business. That's our flagship. And we really want to help Black-owned businesses to grow and scale. We do that 3 ways: by providing business mastery resources, connecting Black-owned businesses to each other, right? And a digital platform as well, which is the BLACKBiz app that you spoke of earlier.
I love it. Sandra, I have a question for you, because I noticed that you are the VP of IT, right? And I noticed your amazing accomplishments. And when I think of STEM, for example, and I think of careers that are STEM related, we are grossly underrepresented in that, especially Black women. What led you to that, and how is it that you support BLACKBiz with what it is that you do?
My in the Caribbean, on the British, because Antigua, England is our mother country. And so their educational system was also lent to ours. We didn't have a option. I had to learn 3 foreign language, Latin, French, and Spanish. Wasn't really good with Spanish, but I had to do it, and I forced myself. And any technology, from a very young age, I realized I was good with math and any kind of science. My language that I really didn't do well at was English, because I learned English at school, but on the playground we talking patois, we talking our broken English with all the African language mixed with English, and I never practiced this outside of school, so I never mastered it. So I hated English. And so then when I moved to the States, I was so far ahead that I excelled again in math and all the sciences. And at Newdorf, if you know anything about Newdorf, it's heavily Italian and white, and only like 1% was black. So I got into a school that catered to that type of a educational system where it furthered your education. And I just happened to land in the right place, went to school for it, and worked in a lot of companies, aerospace companies. My husband being a former military, we moved around a lot. So I got all these experience in all these companies. And you talk about STEM, I actually have a STEM program. And going back to the women underrepresented and African American representative in technology and STEM, my husband and I started our nonprofit for STEM, which is the science, technology, engineering, math. It's 3 things: money, medical, and math. We expanded that. And it is the answer for all of the communities that can't afford silver and all of those high price supplemental program that help our students to go into these fields. And so when BLACKBiz came along and I had an opportunity to be a part, and not only just serving our community, but building a pipeline.
Yes.
This non-profit, and how we give back, our socially conscious give back.
Yes.
Education. And if we don't start the pipeline of STEM from elementary all the way through with supplement, the schools are not going to do it, y'all. It's
up to us.
Battle. We have to go into the community and become the STEM Boys and Girls Club. You see, the Boys and Girls Club in the African American community is totally different than the Boys and Girls Club that I saw in San Diego, in La Jolla.
Yes.
Totally different. It's still Boys and Girls Club. One in the African American community, all we doing is playing games all day and eating and going on trips. But the other communities, they're getting coding at a young age. They're doing so much exposure. That's what BLACKBiz is going to do. Now, let me just add to what Gina says. One of the greatest things, what makes us different for BLACKBiz is that we're not creating anything. Gina's right. People are all over doing various things, but where's the collective? Where's that platform that bring everyone together and make an impact? That's BLACKBiz. So that's the platform we have right now on BLACKBiz, to make sure we have that pipeline for boys and girls to be a part of technology, the medical field, finance, and all the fields that we're not currently in, to make sure that once we're gone, we build legacy leaders.
I love it, because in when I spoke to one of my mentors about building this, he was very clear in saying to me, Jerome, this can't just be for the next 20 years, right? It has to be for the next 20 generations, right? So I'm extremely intentional in everything that I do, that I include our young people, that I give our young people a platform. I grew up in a way where I was not allowed necessarily to speak. It was to sit and be silent. We have to start meeting young people where they are and tapping into their creative spirit, because they have it. I have 8-year-olds who are business owners. All right. I was born in the 60s. That never was a thing for us. So I love it. I love the synergy that we have as Buy Black and Black Biz. You, Gina, you already know that I love that synergy. So tell us more about some of the initiatives, because one of the things that I struggle with, especially we're talking about mental health awareness month and bringing content to our people that we needed. We needed it before COVID. I know we need it more now. I'm struggling with our people wanting to utilize the content and the information that we're bringing to them. Gina, how is it that Black Biz is able to get people to come and utilize some of the resources and things of that sort that you can offer to our people to heal?
Great question, Jerome. So, what we have quickly learned, again, it's about strategy, not just running off and starting, but really having a reason and rationale and doing your research. It's as simple as this. In anything that we do together separately, we have to meet people where they are and recognize that everybody is a different place. Just because you are in this part of your journey, some people are further along. Some people are still not even knowing that they're even on a journey, right?
Right.
And so you have to first understand where they are in their journey and meet them exactly where they can hear the message you're sending. And so Black Biz has some pretty dynamic approaches to be able to bring us together on at whatever plane they are. We can make those steps forward together. So one example is with our intentional consumers, right? So a lot in our community understand that we have the power of $1.2 trillion, you know what I mean? And we can leverage that as we need to. But some people are still in the mindset, some of our folks, doesn't matter what shade, right? In the mindset of consumer mentality, right?
Yes.
And so our program is understanding that, and we meet them as a consumer. If they want to be a buyer right now, that's where we meet them, and we help bring them along in that consumer space, because there's space there for you to still bring economic empowerment where you are. For those who understand that the IRS and the founders of this country wrote and the tax laws are written for those who own businesses, right? We're there to help you. And we can help you, with whether it's, a side hustle or not even a full-fledged, business, right? We can help you where you are and show you those strategies to allow you now to not just have a W-2, but a 1099, right? So those are just some examples of how it's really important to understand, in that heart of service, it's not about what you have to offer, it's what do they need in their point in their journey.
Right. And I love that meeting them where they are. Again, that's my buzzword. I want to know what it is that you need and what it is that I could bring to you, right? Because my brain is filled with a zillion ideas, to be honest with you. But if it's not serving you as a person and us as a community, then it doesn't matter. Tell me what you need and I'll be glad to get it to you. So thank you for that, Gina. Sandra, I see why you were a yes from day one with Gina, because, she's passionate about this. So talk some more about your area of expertise and also what it is that you're doing in your community, because you talked about programs that you and your husband have and what you're doing in your church and things of that sort. Talk more about that, because I love the fact that all of us can come to this space with our area of expertise, and then when we put it all together, it makes the thing that we're working on that much bigger. So talk about more what it is that you're doing in your community and, of course, your area of expertise.
You know what make BLACKBiz so awesome, Jerome, is that there are four of us. The other two couldn't make it today. We had other commitments, and when we leave here, we're going to be getting ready for something great also. So what make BLACKBiz so great is all of us have like lived a life already.
Yes.
We've been educated, we have experience and expertise in different areas. And then everything that we've been doing, Ivan Brown is a serial entrepreneur. Guess what he has done? Brought all of that expertise and put it on the platform, on the BLACKBiz platform. Christy, her education, her experience, she's bringing all of that. And then BLACKBiz, the founder and members of BLACKBiz, the mastermind, is actually living out what BLACKBiz is, integrator.
Yes.
Like I said, we don't create anything. We just bring what we already have to the BLACKBiz platform and we integrate. This is everything Black. Buy for Black, buy for life is on the BLACKBiz platform. Yes. Because now it is an expand and an extension of the reach, and you fit a piece of the puzzle when it says BLACKBiz.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so all of my expertise, the STEM, when Gina first unveiled to us that, hey, here's my idea of being socially conscious and give back. What are we gonna do? How are we gonna bring the youth up from where they are? I jumped up. Don't you worry about a thing, sis. I got a STEM program. I got something that I've already built. Just use it.
Yes.
And that is how all four of us are.
Yes.
We just bring whatever we have, we create this platform, and then on this foundation of BLACKBiz, we're then hitting a buy Black for life and all the other people that are doing things in silo, right? Yes. Only making a dent. Now BLACKBiz is that vehicle. So everything that I've done, the technology, my apps, launching a TV network here, streaming in a couple, bank, everything. Guess what? Even though Sandra is here, when you see it, it's going to have a BLACKBiz frame.
Yes.
Huh?
I love that.
And then people like you, Jerome, and everyone that's listening will know where to go. And guess what I love about BLACKBiz? We're not just for ourselves. You still get to be Jerome. You still get to have your YouTube channel. You still get to come on Saturday. But guess what? Now your platform is much broader, much wider, and more extended because of BLACKBiz.
Yes.
And the last thing I want to say about BLACKBiz that makes me so proud to be a part of it is the give back. We're not greedy. Guess what, Jerome? When you come on and you join us, and then your funds and your finances are now increased because of BLACKBiz, you own it too. Right. You get a part of it. We don't get rich on off of people's back.
Can you say that again?
We're not exchanging massas. We're not exchanging plantation here. No, we are creating a new table. We are creating a new table with different legs. And guess what? If that table ain't big enough and you got a table, we don't care what the shape of it is. Bring it along. Let's see how we can connect it and integrate it.
I love
That's what we do.
Oh, I love this. So Gina, you and I have talked about that. People don't believe that we as Black people can do business with each other. That, there's drama behind us doing business with each other. In doing this, in being in the community since I was 11, but specifically in doing this with Buy Black going on a year, June 6th will be a year. I've never felt that. I've been telling people, if you are here to compete with someone else, this might not be for you because we're about community. And you're intentional about expressing, we are about community. Share that, how that works, how that comes about for you.
Yes. So Sandra says this often, and she cites it from an African proverb. which is if you want to go somewhere fast, go by yourself. But if you want to go further,
come on now.
Yeah, don't go alone, right? Let's get on the same bus together. And so
Yes.
That's really the spirit in which BlackBiz serves. Is we are serving in the spirit of collaboration, a cooperative collective, if you will, right? Versus competition. And you spoke earlier about all these myths and how we're here debunking them, for a year now. So you starting in June 6th, right? Because that's exactly right. And that's part of our tenets. We speak about changing the narrative because so long the narrative has been written for us, and these are just myths. They're not true. There's so much ingenuity and excellence and brilliance among us, but we haven't come together because the system realizes, right, that in dispersion it just wastes and evaporates. And so we're about bringing it together in a powerful force. And we're just beginning with you and so many other collaborators. And we're just really excited about what's to come.
So I have a question for both of you. And Sandra, I'm going to start with you because I looked at your website. I'm a research freak, right? I research, read. This is what I do. And one of the things on your website you talk about is Black excellence. And that has been in my ear, and it was interesting because I read an article this morning from a young person who said he is tired of Black excellence and hashtag Black excellence. Then I feel sorry for him that he does, but explain why Black excellence is so important for us to talk about, to show, and to be Black excellence.
So it's all right to have this whole honeymoon stuff going on and pie in the sky stuff. We're gonna have to be real. The reason why this young man don't want to hear it because a lot of us have not been right. We have not really showed the right kind of Black excellence. We have failed our youth. We have failed our children. And many of us would rather be right than righteous. And many of us would rather be right in our own little circle than being excellent.
Yes.
And you don't have to I keep saying a mother don't have to tell her children, I'm the mama, so you better listen. A manager don't have to tell the employees, I'm the manager, so you better, no, you just manage, you just mama.
Right.
Right, you parent. And they're gonna know soon enough who you are. Right. By your fruits, by the way you behave. You don't have to keep saying Black excellence. The reason why we write it is because all four of us are Black excellence. And when people go on and do more research in who Gina is, Sandra is, we all have our own website, our own businesses, things we look at all the accolades you spoke of. How dare Gina come on here and talk about domestic violence if she ain't done it? Trust me, we police ourselves better than anybody on the outside. As soon as we stand up here bigging up ourselves, saying we this and that, somebody Google it.
Of course.
I'm gonna say it in my West Indian language. Lie them a tell. Them a lie. They be the first one out of. So Black excellence starts from within you. And so I wouldn't dare stop this young man. I would just invite him to our events, invite him on our website, and the proof is in the pudding. And we will not fail him. Tell him come, he got something to offer. So since ain't no Black excellence, why don't he be it?
Come on now.
Tell him come on and join us, and we would love to showcase him because we're looking for a few good Black men.
And that's what, believe it or not, that it's like you're in my head. That's what I did because I don't want to challenge that thought. I would like to, let's talk about that. Let's dig into that. Let's go deeper. Again, that's meeting that young, and I think he said in the article, he was 27, 28 years old. I want to meet him where he is with respect to that thought. And I don't want to knock him for it because again, I'm in my 50s. Young people are tired of us telling them what to do. They're tired of it. But if we can nurture that thought process, if we can, okay, where's that coming from? What is it you're exposed to that you're tired of seeing that? Because maybe someone is saying Black excellence, and in your vision, that's not the epitome of Black excellence to you. And that's okay, right? And it's okay for them to think what they're doing is Black excellence, but let's flesh that out. And Gina, I'm sorry I went long, but please share with us about Black excellence.
Yes, no, I think Sandra wrapped it up. I mean, that was a great answer. And I like what you were saying, and I'll just pull a little bit, on that thread there, where, we have our own definitions. And so maybe it's a sense of, unpacking that, right? And starting where you are and knowing what that means to you. Is that about credibility or integrity, quality? You know what I mean? And just start there. And so I'm looking forward to your challenge to this young guy, right? And seeing him one day on this platform, bringing his excellence,
absolutely,
to the table. Yeah,
I cannot. My wife always says to me, Jerome, you can't rescue everybody, right? Because I could be on the train or the bus, and I hear something. I'm not going to, especially with our young people, I'm not just letting that ride. I'm just not. You can never, in my presence, right, as a proud Black man, ever, no matter what color you are, use the N-word and not have this big Black man challenge you on what it is that you're saying and how you're using it, right? Never. And again, my wife is like, not everybody can you rescue. Can you sit down? But I can't. It's just something in me. I just can't help it. And I think about being on the train one day and a young man with his boys and a young girl with her girlfriends, and now the young man wants to talk to the girl, but the girl is like, now you want to talk to me with your boys around. And I said to him, do you like her? And he's like, yes sir. And I said, well, outing her on the train in front of all of these people who don't know her and her girls is not the way to go. Let me school you on this, right? And he was like, the girl actually approached me and said, thank you for doing that, right? And I just thought, so mentoring is big to me, right? It is so big. Representation, if you could see it, you could be it. And I see that with each of you. You are the epitome of what we talk about with representation. How is it that each of you represent? And Sandra, I'll start with you. I already know, so I'm gonna just let me get the fire extinguisher because the fire is about to go down.
Let me tell you, something just came in my spirit, so I'm gonna go with the Spirit of God. There was a reason why I was born first. There was a reason why I opened the matrix of my mother and came in here, because I'm a forerunner. Everything that I've ever done, I feel the Holy Ghost. My God, this is not Sandra talking right now.
Come on now.
My whole body is covered, as Jennifer Lopez would say, goosies. That's my assignment. My assignment on this earth is the spear of the head of the spear. I pierce, I part, even the way I show up, even the way I speak. And it takes somebody of like mind and of like spirit to get what the Spirit is saying. There is a scripture in the Bible that said the sons of Issachar, which was one of the 12 sons of the son of Jacob, understand signs, seasons, and times. And anytime you see them show up in the Bible, they were always on the forefront of something great that the rest of the people them can't see. So those of you out there in Buy Black for Life who are hearing me, but not with your ears, who are seeing me, but not with your eyes, who feel BLACKBiz in your heart, right? Yeah, without a heart surgery, you know who you are. Man up, pull on your big girl's panties and come on. We need you. That's why we came on this platform. We're already mentoring you. So many things Gina said and I said resonated with you. I see you in your living room sitting up like, oh, who these people, huh? I see you going, oh, well, go on. Somebody
Yes.
saying what? No,
Yes.
that girl didn't just say that. What? Is that such a platform? Come on, y'all. Jerome is already on it. That's why we are on this.
We need
We're
it. We
already
need it.
lecturing.
Yes.
No more people saying, doing all this thing and nothing. Stop being clouds without rain. I'm done.
Where's the fire extinguisher? I knew a fire was coming. So, woo! I have the AC on. I'm going to have to turn it up a little bit more because it's got hot in here. Thank you. Pass the collection plate, please. Because church is happening in here. Yes. Gina, I'm sorry I put you, that you have to follow that. Please excuse me.
No, I think it's just the drum roll, right? And the drop the mic.
Me
No,
every
that
day.
was,
She lives with me every day.
yeah. And that's powerful. Sandra doesn't know how to turn it off because she just speaks from her heart, right? And the Holy Spirit is all through what we're doing and who we meet along the way. I mean, I think it's a divine connection, Jerome, that how we met and when we met and the timing and everything is just divine. So very excited to bring our communities together as strategic partners because, there's so much mission left to be done. And there's so much meaning and purpose, in our passion. So, I mean, our motto in BLACKBiz is together we are the answer, right? Because it's not just, all of our experiences we think might be unique, but are they really? Right? But it's about how you use the experiences that God gave you, whether it was, a horrible, dreadful, valley that you were in or that mountaintop that you experienced, but all of it takes you to the point where you can decide what you're going to do next and how you're going to come, how you're going to deliver, how you're going to show up. And so, and we appreciate that. And we're here to show up with you, Jerome. This is about being, for us, by us, you know what I mean? And just excited. Oh, you're on mute,
Jerome.
Sorry, I'm just so out of sorts because of the amazingness and the spirit just moving in this conversation. BLACKBiz has an event coming up at 3:00 today, 3 p.m. Eastern time, and I'm about to put it in the chat for our people to see. Gina, Sandra, can you both talk about what that event is, what that event is all about, and how it serves our community and our people, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So this month is Mental Health Month. It's mental awareness. Because honestly, there's so much healing that's needed, right? And you spoke earlier, Jerome, about, the idea of how you're meeting people where they are. I like to use this analogy. This is a hard conversation for a lot of our people, for our culture, because the narrative so long has been around, just manning up, right? And being a man about it and not, swallowing in your worries and you know what I mean? And not really healing, just continuing to build on the trauma that never was resolved. Does that make sense? So this month, these type of conversations are more important than ever. And so, in our A tenant, or foundational pillar, which stands for awareness, is all about recharging, your mind, your body, your soul. And so that's what this event is about this afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern. It's about understanding that we have to acknowledge what we've been through. And even sharing stories is a part of that healing. So you realize, wow, that happened to you? I thought I was the only one, right? That's part of the healing process. And so to be able to heal or to recognize first and then to bridge, right? Because where we're going and what BLACKBiz stands for is economic empowerment. But we can't get here to prosperity until we heal or understand what's happened in our past, right? In generations, or even, our own circle, or whatever that looks like for all of
Past
us.
year, COVID, the pandemic.
Oh my goodness. Yes. And they say the next pandemic or epidemic after COVID will be mental health, because we've all been dealing with it so terribly and in
Yes.
isolation for over a year.
Yes.
And so this is just about us getting ahead in a sense, but also catching up in another way, you know what I mean? And bringing the conversation, the needed conversations, to the forefront. Dougie Fresh will be joining us, so we're very excited to see the other side of Dougie Fresh. He was actually founding artist of an organization called Hip Hop Health, so we'll be able to get see the other side of him. And we've got amazing, distinguished panelists also joining the conversation, expertise in their own right, covering that kind of mind, body, soul, conversation as well. So Sandra, over to you. Anything to add? Share?
I just want to talk to the people and tell them why they must come.
Please do.
Okay?
And if I could just say something before you say that. We have 5 spots. Buy Black for Life has 5 spots. I'm trying to give these away to our members. So if you are home and you need something just to occupy your time, please let me know either via the chat or via our email. I will get you in. I'm going to be there because for me, mental health is a never-ending journey. I've gone through my mental health struggles. And one of the things I am intentional about saying is if I can normalize the conversation, then hopefully even one that I hope to heal. So I'm sorry, Sandra, please go ahead.
No, I think that was important and timely. I want to talk about the why they should show up. And I want to speak to it from the standpoint of bullying. There are different types of bullying. There's bullying in the home, siblings, maybe to some extent, not sibling rivalry where, no, don't you wear my socks no more. No, that's different, right? And every time the parents leave, you don't eat, you're getting beat up. There's bullying on the playground, right? There's sexual bullying, right? It's in everybody's house, right? There's a bully everywhere. There's bullies in corporate, right? I call them sometimes pigs in suits, the way they behave, the way they drag you through the mud, right? The way they treat you and make you feel. What do you do with all those incidences and experiences that you never told no one because it's taboo to talk about? What are you doing with those things? They didn't go anywhere. They're still trapped right here. So we as a people, when we hear mental, we hear crazy. Well, you are crazy, driving us crazy. I am crazy, driving you crazy, because I didn't take care of my crazy. Because I did not talk about that bullying because, as Gina said, we've been told for so long, we don't cry, you suck it up, you still got bills to pay, So I just want you to see mental health today as a bully. And I want you to put a face on it. I want you to put that person on the playground, that person on your job, that person in your house, the one you're married to, The one at church, that's the worst kind of bullying. Church folk, don't get me started. You need this event today. You need someone else, and we have a plethora of age groups. Right. We are even representing the youth. You need to understand you are more than what you went through. Yeah, you don't look like what you're going through, but you're sure acting like it because of the trauma. You never unpacked it because of that bully, right? So if you see the mental health as a bullying situation, you should show up to find out how to get that bully out of your head, even though you're no longer around them.
Awesome. Thank you. And I put it in the comments, the link to the event. And if I could just piggyback off of what Sandra's saying, right? When you have that trauma that's upon you and you don't address it, or let's say you take it and you put it in, you ball it up and you throw it away, it manifests itself in other things that you don't even realize. It goes right back to that unfixed drama. Okay. And I could say that because I've been it, right? I've been angry as a young black man with no father. I've been angry for no reason, right? And once I got into a room and got help for it, it not only began to heal me, but it also began to help me heal my relationship with my father. Okay. And I may get emotional right now, but how that manifested itself is on the 20th anniversary, 2019, of my oldest brother dying. I had a conversation with my father. For the first time, my father said to me, "I love you." My father was abused himself. He never seeked the help for it. He was abused himself. When I tell you I'm on my way to work and I'm at the train, I dropped to my knees and cried. Didn't matter what I had on, I dropped to my knees and I'm crying. People must have thought, what happened to him? But if I had not began to heal myself from the trauma of feeling like I'm missing something because I don't have a man in my life, I never would have come full circle. And I almost lost him as well as myself to COVID. I never would have come full circle to now have a relationship with my father. So when we talk about the bully, and I love that, that's the best way to look at it. When we talk about the bully, I'm telling you, I had a bully right here on my shoulder. And it took me getting into a room and talking with someone about it and healing myself from it. So thank you for that, Sandra and Gina. And we're wrapping up because I know you both have things that you have to do. So I'm just gonna ask one last question of each of you. And Sandra, I will start with you. Not even a question, but any last words that you would like to share with not my group, but our community? Any last words you would like to share with our community?
Yeah, as you were speaking, I was reminded why Iyanla Van Zandt is so popular. Her TV series, Fix My Life, right? Because many of us are in pieces. And we're like Humpty Dumpty. We don't even know where they are, and nobody can put us back together again.
Yes.
But the peace of God that passeth all understanding, that guard your heart and mind. So I'll just leave you guys with it. Come today and learn how to obtain knowledge. Then go from knowledge to wisdom. Go from wisdom to understanding that passeth. And then go from understanding to peace of mind. The peace of mind that passeth all understanding is going to be at our Fire Chat event today. Looking forward to seeing you there.
Yes, thank you, Gina. And Gina, let me just say, there was somebody watching that I hope to link you up with. I was on a panel conversation with this brother. His name is Curtis Pitts. And I gave Curtis my word that I will be in Topeka, Kansas in September, as he's bringing all people from all over the country together, so that what it is that we're talking about with business and healing, that's his mission. So I hope to be able to link you up with Brother Curtis. What he's doing is powerful. And so he let me know he was watching. So I'm sorry. Any last words from you, Gina?
No, I appreciate that and look forward to connecting with Curtis and yourself even more, beyond today. I want to say thank you, Jerome, from the bottom of our hearts. We really appreciated, the conversation of today, just the authenticity, and just allowing us to work together. A lot of people aren't seeing what you see, right? Because they're blocked by this spirit of competition.
Yes.
And so we've got to peel that away and see the bigger vision of where we're going. And so we're very excited to be on this journey with you. Thank you too for sponsoring 5 people. So we're not giving it away. Jerome has graciously set aside and purchased 5 tickets. All the proceeds, it's an in-kind donation for the nonprofit, and partial proceeds will be going to provide tablets for underserved children. So, we are a give back organization, and everything we do is with that's part of service too. So know that your in-kind donation is going to be used. But we don't want you just to send the donation. We want you to come.
Yes.
Right? Because you, by coming and giving, you will be overflowed too. You will be blessed. There's something in this conversation for you to unpack, even if you don't think you need it. Just come. Just come and be part of the conversation. It's going to be amazing. We're actually going to have a life hack, like an actual on-the-spot application of one of these techniques to use real time. So it'll be a great time. So we thank you again, Jerome, for allowing us to be part of your Saturday venue, and we'll see you at 3 p.m. Eastern today.
Yes, and my final words is, when we talk about collaboration over competition, this is an example of it right here. Each of us has platforms of which we are looking to draw our communities to in order to enrich and grow our communities for the benefit not of us, but of our communities. And this right here is an example of that. So it is my wish and prayer that everyone take the examples that we are showing and we are using on each of our platforms, and that you use that in your business model, because I believe we all can go further when we go about it together. So for the love of our people, I will see you at 3 o'clock. Please buy Black for Life. I would rather send more if we get overflowed. Please buy Black for Life. Let's support this event that BLACKBiz is having. It's in the chat. I will see you there. For the love of our people, have a happy Saturday. I thank you all. Goodbye.